everyone, and welcome to It's All About Arts. I am your host for this evening. My name is Val Eliason. I'm coming to you live here from the wonderful BNN studios. You're always welcome to join us. If you'd like, you can reach us at 617-708-3290, or if you just want to watch, that's fine too. Dave and the spectacular staff at BNN are in the other room answering the phones and working all the behind-the-scenes magic that makes It's All About Arts possible. So please, if you'd like to let us know about anything artful that's going on in your community, or just to say hi, please give us a call. Unfortunately, our friend Glenn Williams won't be able to join us this evening, but that doesn't mean that he isn't off contributing artfully to the Boston community. As we mentioned earlier in a past It's All About Arts episode, Glenn had been asked to join the WGBH Community Advisory Board. So definitely an honor that he is most deserving of, especially after the almost 17 years here that he's been putting in with It's All About Arts. So he will be back next week, and I'm sure we'll hear all about how wonderfully it went. As for tonight, we have a great show in store for you. We have two guest artists on the show. We have Benson, who is a digital artist and graphic designer, and we have Hasin, a wood carving artist, along with a couple other friends of hers. So two very different but unique artists. I love when that happens on the show. I love when we have two crazily different artists. It's great to see all the different mediums. But before we get into that, a couple things that went on this weekend. As you may or may not know, this production of Swan Lake just finished up yesterday. It was amazing. It was absolutely gorgeous. I was at the Boston Opera House. It was a pretty short-running production. I think it went from October 31st up until yesterday, so not quite 3 weeks. This is actually an image of it here. This was my absolute favorite scene of the show. It was this beautiful part where they raised the curtain and there was fog from the fog machines about almost 2 feet high, so where you didn't even look like anyone was on the stage. And all of a sudden, as the fog started to dissipate and flow over the stage into the orchestra section, you saw these gorgeous dancers just arise like swans out of it. It was really something magical. So hopefully it comes back around soon and you'll get to see it, but if not, the Nutcracker is coming back around soon. If it hasn't already started, it might have started today, I'm not quite sure. Don't quote me on that. But always a holiday favorite for everyone. You know, you have the Rat King, the Sugar Plum Fairies, the Dancing Toy Soldiers. Always fun for everyone in the family. I think when I went last year, my favorite part was this giant roly-poly dancing bear who would jump up in the air and do these crazy splits, which I have no idea how someone in such a huge and heavy bear costume was able to do these crazy splits in the air. But I mean, these dancers are definitely got me beat at the gym, that's for sure. So speaking of holidays, if you're not already stressed out about what to bring for Thanksgiving dinner, which I think I'm bringing bread pudding, because I know I'm really good at making that. I know my mom usually has the cranberry sauce covered. But if you're not already stressed about that, you might be thinking about doing some holiday shopping or some early holiday shopping. Now, personally, I really enjoy finding gifts for my friends and families in unique places, and especially locally. I think it's a really great way to support the community and to support local artists, local crafters, and it always feels good to be supporting people that live in your area. It's a great thing to do. So Rosendale Village is such a great place to do that, and I really look forward to doing a little Christmas shopping in the area. And we definitely have Boston Main Streets to thank for almost 100% of that. Boston Main Streets is a volunteer-driven organization that revitalizes the business districts around the city. They've been at it for a couple decades now, so they're really, really good at it. And the progress that they've made, not just in Rosendale, but all over the city of Boston, is astounding. So what Main Streets does is it gives business and property owners the demographics about their community, so they can find more about what they need. Maybe they need a florist shop, or maybe they need a bakery, or maybe they need a good place to get an espresso and scones, anything like that. And what then they do is they help the business once they've moved into the storefront with design and permitting and all that paperwork that no one really likes to get involved in. And then the productions committee comes in, and what they do is they run fun events that sort of brings everyone out of their homes and into the area, and they get to check out what's sort of going on. This is where people really get involved, so it's really fun. And check out and discover all the great things that are happening. And this farmers market, of course, is a great example of this. Boston Main Streets does a wonderful job with them. And so, as Glenn always says, if you see anyone in a Boston Main Streets t-shirt, or probably be a Boston Main Streets hoodie right now, or maybe even a Boston Main Streets winter parka because it's so crummy outside, definitely say thank you to them for us, because they are wonderful, wonderful people and wonderful volunteers. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to show you a magic trick. It's called How to Be in Two Places at Once. So you'll see, it's pretty good. But we're also going to meet our two amazing guest artists. So don't go anywhere yet. I'll be back in a few short minutes, and you'll get to see some of these amazing little pieces that are up here, some work in progresses and how they're constructed and how they're put together. So stay with us. We'll be right back in a few minutes. back, everyone. If you haven't noticed, we have a few more amazing sculptures on the desk here. But before we get to that and see all the creative things that they're making, we're going to do a quick Val's view. So I'm going to throw it over to Val and take it away, Val. Hey, Val, thanks for showing it over to me. So what we have, thanks for shooting it over to me. So we have a couple things that are going on in the city. We have Work Bar Movember, which is a really, really fun November tradition that I wasn't aware of until I moved to the city. But it's this sort of a contest of growing your beard out and creating all these different shapes. So it's going on Friday, November 21st from 6 to 9 p.m. at the Work Bar in Cambridge at 45 Prospect Street. And the Movember team at Work Bar has been cultivating their facial hair 4 months now for this occasion. So you get to check out their hard work and their hard sculpture work, and it'll be something really interesting. It is a bring your own scotch event, BYOS, but don't worry, they will have beer there just in case you don't want to put any hair on your chest, just on your face. It is just a facial hair contest. So the second thing we have on the Val's View agenda is the Lydia Pinkham 9th Annual Open Studios. So another open studios, you seem to see a lot of them this time of year, I think particularly because the holidays are coming up and everyone likes to do their Christmas shopping at them, and it's really a great way to support all the local artists. So now that's going Saturday, November 22nd and Saturday, November 23rd. On the Sunday, November 23rd. On Saturday, it's going on from 10 a.m. to 5, and on Sunday, it's going on from 11 to 4. So it's at the Lydia Pinkham building at 271 Western Ave in Lynn, and there's going to be over 40 studio artists, and it's anywhere from pottery to sculpture to photography to painting, so lots and lots of different stuff that you're going to see. Definitely a place to bring the family, if they're interested in art also, and have a great little outing that weekend. And now on the third list is the Bluegrass Pick-and Party at the Cantab. So if you're like me, I really, really love bluegrass, and I especially love live bluegrass. And this is a great event because before and after the featured band, they actually invite anyone who wants to bring any kind of instrument up on stage, and you can have a sort of a jam sesh. And now that's going on at the Cantab Tuesday and Wednesday nights. It's November 25th and 26th from 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. So if you're looking to get out on Tuesday nights, maybe go a little crazy and not feel so well at work on Wednesday morning, definitely go to the Cantab and have a little bit of fun and get some live music in. So thanks for letting me bring to you some of the great events that are going on in our city of Boston. I'm going to shoot it back to Val. Back to you, Val. Thanks, Val. So welcome back. We have these, oh, there you are. Welcome back. We have these great, amazing artists over here. We have Nina Hasin, and we have Norberto Fabian and
Ventura Fabian.
Ventura Fabian. Okay, so Nina, now describe a little bit about what they're doing.
Well, we have a program, a school program, the Visiting Mexican Artists Program, the Dancing Chickens of Ventura Fabian, because as a master woodcarver in Oaxaca, Mexico, he became known for his dancing chickens right there.
I love them. These guys here, these are amazing.
And I can actually tell you a funny story about how they began, because so we do a school program. In fact, this week we'll be in Milton Public Schools about the art and craft of Oaxacan woodcarving. Ventura is one of the first 5 original carvers of this small wood carving town outside of Oaxaca, the San Martin Tilcajete.
Okay.
And Norberto, his son, usually does the painting. So that's what our school program is about, really. I talk, and the kids' eyes are just glued to a master carver working. He's been carving for 55 years, and on the desk are some of his his amazing creations.
These are incredible. I mean, everything in this jaguar is gorgeous, and all the I don't know if you can get a good look and zoom in on these, but all the little tiny patterns and the colors, and even especially on the tail, the different kinds of blues. These are gorgeous. These are amazing. Ventura, where do you draw your inspiration from?
Ventura, ¿de dónde viene su inspiración?
Bueno, mi inspiración mi inspiración es hacer las mejores figuras para demostrarle aquí a los niños, porque los niños son lo más interesante, que aprendan a trabajar, que aprendan cómo se hacen las figuras. Y yo quisiera que en todas las escuelas aprendan unos 2, 3 niños inteligentes que aprendan a hacer las figuras.
So right now he's getting his inspiration actually from the kids that we are in front of, that they're glued to him and they ask these great questions, and so that gives him inspiration.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah. And Norberto, where did you learn to paint? Are you self-taught?
Principalmente de la naturaleza, las flores, y también, como en esta pieza, como somos indígenas zapotecos, ahí transmito la cultura de los zapotecas en Monte Albán y Mitla, las pirámides, y transmitir la identidad de nuestro pueblo. Entonces esa es mi inspiración.
So his inspiration, he said, is nature, so a lot of his figures have flower designs or leaf patterns, things representing rain. Yeah, I don't know if that mask has it, but then also when like the Mayans or the Aztecs are different indigenous groups from Mexico. So in Oaxaca, where there are 17 different indigenous groups, the largest are the Zapotec Indians.
Okay.
So their ancestry are the Zapotecs. And what's amazing, so when he was talking about the Zapotec symbols on like that, the dancing chickens, or on the jaguar there, on actually most of the figures up there now, you could go to the big ruins outside the city there, and in these huge slabs of stone, they have these symbols and images from their Zapotec ancestry. So they're using them, they're incorporating them now into their art.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Now, what kind of, Ventura, what kind of wood are you using to carve with?
¿Qué clase de madera usa?
Esta es madera de copal de mi pueblo, San Martín Tilcajete.
The copal
Sí,
tree?
trajimos
The copal
copal.
tree?
Yeah. In that limb there.
Oh, okay. So this is a part of the copal tree?
Yeah, it grows in warmer climates, Central America, Mexico.
Okay.
And it's not a very tall tree, but the branches are very twisty, and so a lot of times you'll see how the branch, the shape of a piece of wood will determine like what the figure is, like that mermaid there.
Oh, I see. Yes.
So we
That's
show that to the
amazing.
kids also, how.
Huh. Now, these colors. Now, what type of paint are you using?
They use acrylic paint
Okay.
here, yeah, just because of the bright colors, but
Now, this wood mask. I
Yeah.
notice doesn't have any paint on at all. This is amazing. It's a little scary. This is amazing, though.
that's from a different tree. Sometimes Ventura sees like cedar up here, the red cedar.
Oh,
it's very
yes.
hard to carve, but he loves the smell and he loves the color.
Yeah.
And they don't really get it down there. That's a tree on his property called the Wamuchi tree.
Okay.
And so he uses that. But about the painting, the acrylic paints are just sold, they buy it in craft stores in Oaxaca.
Oh, yeah, you can find
But
them
like
anywhere.
the lion on the elephant right in front of you,
Oh, this one, yes.
that they're going back to using some of the traditional methods. And so that purple color comes from pomegranate juice, lime juice, and bicarbonate of soda, baking powder,
So,
baking soda.
so they made this pigment here?
And then crushed rose petals. And then once that dries, the base dries, and they'll put the acrylic designs on top of that.
I love this, how the elephant trunk goes into the tail of the
Yeah,
lion. That's
yeah.
amazing. That's so cool. Oh,
I know,
wow.
he's got some crazy, this is a work in progress. It's not painted yet, but it's a, is that okay?
Yeah, thank you. Oh, this is great. Now this is a lamb on top of...
Two horses.
Two
It's actually
horses.
they call it a chameleon. It's a chameleon, but it's a different chameleon than we have here. It's bigger and with a little bit longer legs. So.
Oh, okay. These are just absolutely gorgeous. You can see how much folklore is in each one of these pieces. And I didn't even see this one, this armadillo. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Oh, I love all of these. They're so wonderful. Now, if someone wanted to buy some of these pieces, do they have any shows or sales or?
Well,
where's their work displayed?
What we do, we've been going around to schools and museums. We were at the Harvard's Peabody Museum for Day of the Dead. They always invite us there.
Oh, nice.
And then in schools, we sell after dismissal to teachers and parents.
Okay.
But this weekend is a big weekend for us. We always get invited back to Brick Bottom Open Studios in Somerville.
Okay.
On Saturday and Sunday, 12 to noon.
Yes. Oh, good.
And the artists love that. You know, the other artists who live in the co-op there who are displaying, they always come over and say, "Oh, good, you're back, you're back."
Is it this Saturday and
It's
Sunday?
this Saturday and Sunday,
Okay,
yeah.
so this Saturday and Sunday in Somerville at Brook Bottom, you
Brook
said,
Bottom
right?
Open Studios,
Okay,
yeah.
definitely. So definitely go check that out, guys. I mean, these are really something else. I know I definitely want to go down and check them out, and we can get some early Christmas presents for some members of my family. Now, if I didn't mention before, now your father and son, that's incredible that father and son are working together in this sort of art sense, creating and building a craft together. I love seeing that. Norberto and Ventura, do you find it a good bonding experience?
Oh, sí, le gusta trabajar conjuntos.
Sí, es una experiencia bonita porque está uno en compañía de mi padre y yo aprendo cada día más de él, observando cómo trabaja y yo pintando sus obras que él hace. Entonces es muy bonito compartir el momento con su padre de uno.
So they have a good relationship and a good bond, but that's basically where he learned to carve, is just from being a little kid and watching his father, just observing.
Amazing.
But the thing is that it's very common in their village because it's a wood carving village.
Okay.
So that's really how people learn, from father to son to grandson,
Yeah.
and whole families help. Even as younger children, when they do the base coat of the, so they'll come home from school, and even a 12-year-old, they'll just paint like, for that crazy mermaid there, they'll just paint the blue of the head or the gold of the tail, because you can't mess up too much, painting a big block of area. And then, when they develop more hand-eye coordination, or all they'll hand it to their older brothers and sister to put the detailed designs on.
That Norberto definitely has. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you so much for bringing all these beautiful pieces.
Sure.
Now, again, we can see you at the Somerville Open Studios this Saturday and Sunday,
Brick
right?
Bottom Open
Excuse
Studios.
me. Brick Bottom.
In
Do you know the
Somerville.
address by any hand? Or
It's
we can-
one Fitchburg Square.
One
or
Fitchburg
street.
Square?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll definitely be putting it on our Facebook page,
Yeah.
because, these are pieces you don't want to miss.
And there, we've got a website. It's thedancingchickens.com.
TheDancingChickens.com?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's where you can see their work and purchase it also? Okay, that's wonderful. Well, thank you again, Roberto, Ventura, Nina. It's been wonderful having all of you on.
De nada.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I look forward to seeing your work this weekend, and please don't be strangers. Please come back whenever you're in town. We'd love to have you on the show again. This is
Thank you.
wonderful. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we have another amazing artist. So don't go anywhere, guys. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in a few minutes. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for sticking with us. So now we have a wonderful artist and dear friend of mine, Miles Benson, on the show with us. Miles, thank you so much for being here. It's wonderful to have you.
I'm pumped to be here. I'm really excited. So, yeah.
It's I think we've known each other for almost 10 years now, but I've always been wildly impressed by your work. I mean, you've always been such an inspiration to me in terms of graphic design and digital art. Some of the things that you do are just, they're really out of this world. Where do you pull a lot of your inspiration from?
Without giving an insanely long list of people, but from a lot of different sources. I mean, we all get it from, you know, our friends and family, and that's pretty much where I get most of my inspiration from. I don't know what I would do without any of them. But in terms of specifics and people and whatnot, I'm a really big fan of this illustrator called, his name is Pascal Campion.
Okay.
And he just takes these little slices of his life and just illustrates them. And they're just absolutely outstanding. And at one point, there was one day that, or like 1 week, that he was illustrating a slice of his life every single day that emulated my own, and it was eerie and amazing at the same time. It was so fantastic. Definitely check him out because He's amazing.
That's awesome.
But I get it from so many different places. Like Kevin Smith, the writer director, is another one of my huge inspirations. He's a podcaster now, and he just literally saved my life because of his comedy and everything. So, but yeah, I pull from a lot of different sources. It depends on what we're talking about: illustration, comedy,
Gotcha.
whatever. So, yeah.
So now you work for Boston College, right? You're in their graphic design department?
Their marketing department.
Marketing department.
Yeah.
So what are some of your favorite projects that you've worked on with them, or is there anything in particular that jumps out with you?
Yeah, there's a few in particular. We're working on something right now which is really amazing in animation. That's kind of like an Monty Python type style, which is
awesome. I love
really
Monty
funny
Python.
and cool.
Yeah.
It's going to be on their homepage probably in the next couple of days, so you guys can go check it out. It's really cool. But in particular, we do a lot of videos, we do a lot of animation, graphic design. So that's one of the things about me that I try not to pigeonhole myself to like one particular kind of art or design. I can kind of do a very wide variety of things. So I think my favorite project that I've done there, because it was kind of my own, nobody asked me to do it, I just kind of did it. It was a map of Boston College, actually, that I kind of did in a very illustrated sort of format. I think there's an image of it somewhere. Maybe we'll show it later, but that was probably my favorite one, from there at least. Yeah.
Awesome.
But outside of that, I have a lot more favorites. So.
Well, let's see some of your stuff now.
Cool.
Let's see what we have. Now this piece.
Yep, the map is actually, it was just a illustrated map. I tried to do it in sort of an isometric design with the building sort of being a little protruded, kind of in the same way that you would see Google Maps, but I kind of just did it all freehand on the computer kind of thing. So
No, this is the one for Boston College.
this is the one for Boston College, yeah. And there's a lot more to the map, but at least here is the sort of the zoomed in one that you can kind of see some of the detail and things like that. So.
Oh, that's so cool. I love that.
Thank you.
Now now in this.
That is my friend's wedding.
That's so
and
awesome.
That is me in the corner, actually.
Okay.
And so this is sort of me harnessing that illustrator that I'm really inspired by, Pascal Campion. He just takes these little slices of his life and illustrates them beautifully. And I've really started to sort of be inspired by him and kind of do the same thing. And I had one of the most amazing times at my friend's wedding and I had to put it into form. And this is us dancing to one of these, our favorite song that we dance to, which is it's kind of a homage to a friend who has passed on. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And this is it's a little bit stretched out, but at least you can kind of see the details there. This is another one of my little slices of life. That's my dog at the bottom of the stairs, and
Sydney, if I remember correctly.
No, you actually did not meet this dog.
Oh,
actually.
no.
Yeah, this is my dog Max, who is named after my favorite book and movie of all time, The Max, done by one of my other favorite inspirations, Sam Keith. So that my dog just always comes to greet me at the bottom of the stairs every day. Like it's the most exciting part of his day ever. And when I wake up and I'm just like, I'm tired, I just want my coffee, and he's so excited, and it breaks my heart every time that I gotta leave. And I love him, and it's so cool.
Heartwarming.
Yeah. And so this is kind of a plug. This is I do a website with a friend of mine, Tim Serwinski, and it's a website called Contest of Champions, and it's at contestofchampions.net. And essentially, it's kind of like one of those things that we're always struggling to get back to our youth, and we just kind of talk about comics and movies and television and stuff like that. And so what we do is we take these two fictional characters and pit them up against each other, and we try to create arguments for why we think they would win in a fight.
Okay.
So I create a lot of the art for the site, and in particular, this was one of the more recent ones that we did. It was a Christian Bale Batman versus Michael Keaton Batman.
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
defended Michael Keaton Batman, and he won. I'm just saying, it was awesome. And I kicked his butt, and it was fun. So yeah, it's just all about chasing whimsies and getting back to feeling young, and just kind of exploring your creativity and whatnot. So.
Oh, that's so cool. Let's see. Oh, this one. This is. Oh, skip it around.
So we're going on this one. Okay. So this one was actually, there was nothing in particular about this. It was just I actually wanted to submit this to the Weekly Dig newspaper in Boston.
Oh,
actually.
yeah, I know that newspaper.
This was, I think it was last fall or a couple falls ago that I submitted. It was for their fall fashion issue or their
Okay.
cover. I submitted it. It didn't end up getting used, but I just kind of wanted to. I very rarely submit my work into anything out there in the public eye, so I thought it was just a good attempt, and yeah.
Now, did
nothing
you
special.
use? We're hopping back over to this one. Okay.
So this was. What was your question on the other one?
I was going to ask you on the other one. Did you do the photography, or did you
No.
have a friend who did photography, or how did that work? 'Cause there's a little multimedia going on here.
Yeah, that was actually just a stock photo that
Okay.
that I bought, and then everything else is mine. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay, very cool.
And then this one was an animation that I was hoping to create at some point. I'm still sort of in the works about it, but it was a story about a girl that I had met at one point, and I was trying to animate it in a really cool way. So these are some of the screenshots that I had with, that I feel like a lot of it's kind of self-explanatory if you kind of were able to see it a little up close. But yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. So I don't go in one. I don't stay in one realm of art. I try to sort of traverse into so many different areas. So.
That's what I like about you, is that I feel like you leave no stone unturned. You know, you're doing podcasts, and you're doing websites, and you're doing graphic novels and comics, and it's so cool and so inspiring to see someone really throw themselves at all of these different forms of expression and all these different ways of exploring being a digital artist as you are. I really enjoy it, and it's always an inspiration for me.
Thank you.
So now, when did you start getting into art? How old would you say that you were?
I was probably, when did the Ninja Turtles come out? Probably, I found, when the Ninja Turtles came out with comic books, I started sort of drawing the characters from sight, and my parents were like, oh my God, you're actually really good at this, like you can do really good, and my grandmother was like pushing me to do stuff, and it was a lot of fun, and so they just pushed me into a high school that would be a little bit more, help, hone my art a little bit more. So I went to a vocational school, learned graphic design. That way there I could kind of do kind of what I wanted with the comic book thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I could kind of learn something that I could actually get paid for.
Yeah, of course.
So I learned graphic design, fell in love with it. And then I had this wild idea back in the day before, MP3s were like a big thing and everything was going digital. I had this idea that I wanted to revolutionize the comic book industry. And I was like, I'm so set I'm going to do this. It's going to be awesome. And I did not, unfortunately. But
There's
I did.
still time, Miles.
There is still time. There is still time. So I went into, after I graduated from high school, I went to college in Boston at the New England Institute of Art. And I learned more about not just graphic design, that it goes into multimedia design, that art isn't just about, a paintbrush or, wooden carvings or, whatever. It can be in video editing, it can be in podcasting, it can be in, just literally anything. I mean, my friend welds and makes art through welding, so just things like that. And so I just fell in love with everything, and that's when I kind of decided that I didn't want to sort of pigeonhole myself to one sort of way. So, and then from there, I just I got a full-time job, fell in love with design even more, and on the side did all the stuff that makes me happy and stuff like that. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Now, what sort of programs do you find yourself using most frequently for any other graphic designers out there who maybe need some tips of the trade?
Sure. I mean, I think it's kind of all industry standard kind of things. It's Adobe Photoshop, Illustrator, pretty much all of Adobe Creative Suite. Yeah. I would recommend to anybody out there who is starting out or just is any kind of an artist to not just sort of stay in one program, kind of just learn something else, because even something like, I think that Adobe Fireworks isn't really a great program, but it has its merits for other things.
Yeah.
So I pretty much use all of Adobe products, and since I do a lot of video editing and post-compositing and stuff like that, I do Final Cut Pro Studio. I was doing motion for a little while, but I do most After Effects and things like that. So.
Okay. Is there any projects that you're working on now that you want to tell us about?
So projects that I'm working on right now, I mean, aside from the stuff that we've been seeing, I'm just kind of, I'm trying to get back into illustration and art. For a while I was kind of like strictly sort of into video and graphic design, but I'm kind of interested in taking a really, really big risk and changing up my life entirely, and I kind of want to make a movie and try to sell it.
No way.
Yeah, so
Okay.
nobody knew that before I just told you. So anybody who's watching this.
That's awesome. Well, we are honored. We're honored to have the first of the news here, and it's all about arts.
You heard it first.
You heard it first here when he becomes famous. So tell us about any of this idea for this movie that you have. Are you making a comedy, drama, horror?
Oh, I'm pumped to talk about this. This is so good. Okay. I kind of want to make a kids movie.
Oh, that's so fun. Okay.
I want to make a movie about this guy and his dog, or he finds this dog and they build a bond and stuff like that. I just remember growing up and being in love with all these kids movies, and I still watch them to this day, and they still enchant me, and they're just spellbinding to me. I just love them, and you know, I never lost that flair for my youth, and I want to be able to do that for, you know, some other kid, you know, or something like that. And I don't know, I'm all about, you know, trying to inspire other people. I want to move people like other people have moved me. So.
Speaking of trying to inspire other people, I know there's a lot of budding graphic designers and graphic artists out there, and it can be really tricky in the beginning, trying to find a niche or try to figure out where you'll fit in the industry. Do you have any advice for them as to how to sort of, I guess, land a job, or how to really find where they belong or where they're going to?
There's this amazing quote by Ira Glass that I wish that I could quote verbatim, but I can't. I know that you and I have actually talked about this offline. It is something, basically it goes something similar to just do work all the time. Just keep doing it. If you don't think you're any good, just keep doing it. Like even right now, I don't feel like I'm good enough to be on this show. Stop. And I'm just saying, like, you know, those carvings were amazing. And I think to myself, like, I can't believe she wants to be on this show. But really, I just have to cognitively reframe it and think to myself, you know, I am good, and we're all good. It just, you know, you may not think you're good at first, and just don't compare yourself to other people, and just keep doing it. Like, if you don't think you're good now, you will be good. That's the thing. And I wish more people told me that, and I wish more people tried to tell me to find your own style, to find your own voice, and instead of trying to copy other people or emulate people, draw inspiration, but don't copy people. I spent way too long stealing other people's ideas and copying them, which is weird to admit, but yeah, so. Yeah.
I completely agree with that. I think as an artist, it's hard to really push yourself to create every single day. Yeah. And it's really frustrating when you're creating and it's something that you feel like just isn't that great, and you know it could be better, but it's not better yet. And it's hard to really build up that drive to keep at it every single day. Totally. Until you've made what you want and you've developed the style that you want. And I think that's great advice. I definitely think keep at it, don't ever stop, and don't ever stop until it's 100% and it's exactly what you want, and then keep going.
Exactly. I think the other thing that I would add to that is a mistake that I made was if my eyes are often too big for my stomach, or however that expression is, I would start with these really large projects and really want to undertake something. And really, if you start small, if you just do like a sketch a day, or like not even a sketch, like whatever it is that your art is, do one small thing a day and complete it. Don't say it's like in progress, try to complete it that day, but a small thing, and then work your way up to something even larger, and then you'll be able to take on those bigger tasks easier and faster.
That's great advice. Yeah. Now, what about your parents? Like, have they been really supportive of all of this, and are they artistic? Like, where do you think the artistic side of you comes from in your family?
I think it's as a result of my parents not being artistic.
Oh, okay.
I think it's a little bit of just, I mean, everyone's artistic in their own right, you know, obviously, but I do think that because there's sort of, I mean, there were people in my family that were artistic, but they weren't, you know, they never really did anything with it, you know, because, you know, back in the day, you really, you know, had to kind of buckle down and get jobs because of, you know, society and things like that, and get serious. We're fortunate enough now to live in a society where we can, you know, chase our whimsies and, you know, and have fun and create art for a living and just be ourselves. So it's a really wonderful thing. And no, my parents have always been really supportive. They were, you know, they did always sort of like hammer into me that, you know, we do want you to have a job that can pay well and that you're not going to be struggling. You know, I would say that I wish that I did have a little bit more of help, you know, kind of being like, you know, kind of chase your dreams kind of thing, that it is possible. But it is, it's, the blame is really only on myself that I never really did anything with it either. So, but trying to make up for that now by doing those exact things.
Well, you're definitely making up for it. Now, talk about your workspace a little bit. Now, do you have a specific workspace? Is it in an attic someplace, a basement? Is it, where do you like to do all your work and sort of buckle down and get all the creative juices flowing?
So this is a really not interesting answer. I'm all digital, so it's all on my computer, so I kind of just sit on my computer and just kind of do it. I can't really be in a public area because I have to be kind of like closed off and like to be able to be creative, so that's kind of it. I don't really, Sorry.
What would, and this is one of Glenn's favorite questions that he likes to ask, if you're building a website and you had a little scroll down button at the top and you had to pick one word or one title to describe what type of artist you are, what's that one word?
Oh, that's fantastic. I would have to say a polymath artist.
Please continue.
Polymath is someone who doesn't specialize in one particular thing over the other. It's you can kind of you are good in lots of different areas. So that's sort of what I've come to realize is that I'm really good at lots of things, but I've realized lately what I'm really great at, and yeah. So I would say polymath artist.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would you say is the one thing you're really great at? What's your strongest?
Making decisions.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's not, I was sort of expecting to hear like, I'm really great at Adobe Photoshop, or I'm really great at drawing girls' faces or something.
I know this is an artist show, shows should probably go in a sort of art direction, but it does sort of go into art actually, because I feel like the making of a good director, whether it be a movie director, art director, anybody who is in charge of something creative, one of the makings of that kind of person is someone who can make really good decisions, you know, to know to like red or green, you know, or like, you know, watercolor or, you know, gouache, you know, or whatever it is that the decision has to be made, you know. I think that is the making of a good director. So, and I've found that I'm really good at lots of different forms of art and, you know, technical things and whatnot, but I'm really good at making decisions. So I'm trying to go in that avenue for life.
That's actually a better answer than I had originally thought. That's good. I remember watching a movie, I think it was the musical 9, and in one part, one woman's patronizing the actor and or patronizing the director, and she goes, "What is directing? All it is making decisions." So, but it is. I mean, it's so important. You know, I find myself getting stuck oftentimes too, not being able to decide over two simple things like, do I want fuchsia or do I want magenta? But that's great. It's great to know that you're so great at making decisions.
Thank you.
Now, do you have, where can we see your work? Like, I know you have a website. Tell us a little bit about that.
So you can see my work at www.powersourcestudios.net. And that is, it's where I keep all of my portfolio generally. But yeah, I do a lot of freelance work. And yeah, so you can find me on there.
PowerSource.net. Okay.
And the other two projects that I work on are Contest of Champions, like I mentioned before.
Okay.
And there's another project that I do as well called What It Is with Miles and Kenny. It's a podcast that I do with my best friend, which is kind of art in and of itself, where I get a lot of inspiration from, because we kind of just chase whimsies as kids. So you can find that at whatitispodcast.net.
Awesome. Well, Miles, thank you so much for being on the show. It was wonderful to see you as always, but it was even more wonderful to get to pick your brain a little bit about all the artistic goodness in you, and really share it with everyone. So I appreciate you being on the show. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, unfortunately, we're going to have to wrap up this great show. But don't go anywhere, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Well, welcome back, everyone. I'm still here with Wonderful Miles. So a couple things I wanted to mention before we go is, if you didn't get a chance to catch this great show live, you can see us on either Facebook tomorrow around the same time or YouTube. I just type in "It's All About Arts" and the number 1, and you can see all of the episodes and all of the seasons that we've done over the years. Scroll pretty far back. I was doing that this weekend. There's some interesting episodes of Glenn with a really big beard, so definitely check those out. Also, if you weren't able to catch the show this week, you might be able to catch it next week. And if you're not in the Boston area, you can always go to BNN-TV.org, click on what's streaming live now, and you can see the show from anywhere, from Texas, from Oregon, New York, New Jersey, anywhere that you'd want to check it out. And so also, if you want to find out a little bit more information maybe about how to be a guest, or if you want to tell us some artful things that are going on in your life, or give us some feedback, you can click on Janice Williams or Jim Atwood's name at bnntv.org. We're also on Twitter, so @It's All About Arts. So definitely go on our Facebook page, like us, check us out, tell Miles how great of a job he did, tell the wood carvers how amazing their pieces were. It's always a pleasure to get to bring this show to you every single week. So thank you again for tuning in and watching and supporting. The show's really developed a lot over the years, and I'm really honored to be a part of it now. So, as Glenn likes to say, keep in the forefront of your mind all of our sons, daughters, brothers, moms, dads, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, and cousins on foreign soil. Go out, do something artful, do it for them, but also go out and do something artful for yourself. You know, it's really important to always try to be creating and always trying to be bettering and improving yourself, and really finding yourself. So definitely go out there and try something new, maybe watercolors, maybe graphic design, maybe wood carving, who knows. But it was a pleasure again, and we'll have Glenn back with us next week. So thank you again so much for everything, and we look forward to seeing you next Monday.